All right, this next video is just gonna focus on body weight exercises. So things that you can do when you don't have a lot of equipment. There's a couple different ways to format these exercises. I have a kind of a series of exercises. I'll go over the form for all of them really quickly. What you could do is write all these exercises down, and what you could do is you maybe pick 5 of them, and 5 of those exercises you're gonna run through each exercise and do 50 reps of each of those and do 2 circuits or 1 round of it. Or what you can do is do all the exercises and do a certain rep count. So you can do rep count or you can do time count. It's fun to kind of change things up a little bit. So you could do 25 reps of all these exercises or 25 reps of just a few of them. Or the next day you could do 5 of the exercises and do a minute, and you're doing as long as you can, or as many reps as you can in that full minute. So I'm gonna go over the exercises and you can kind of choose which ones you like. So the first one is gonna be just basic push-ups. I think you're all kind of familiar with push-ups. Just make sure that that belly button stays drawn in on this one. So it's easy for people to kind of let their lower back arch or to be up really high. If you start to notice your lower back is arching, then I suggest going down to the knees. When you're doing a knee push-up, you want to make sure that the butt stays nice and low, and then your elbows are coming in at your sides just like that. And then an eccentric push-up, so the eccentric motion is the negative motion. So it's fun to change up your push-ups too, where you go nice and slow all the way down to the ground, cheat your way back up to the top. So basic push-ups, you've got basic squats. So just make sure that that belly button stays drawn in. Don't let the knees pass the toes. Keep that back nice and straight. We don't want that to happen. So we want to keep everything straight. Advancement for that is adding the jump. So squat jumps. Next exercise is going to be alternating lunges. So from the side vantage point, never want your knee to pass your toes. So we're always shooting for 90 degrees, making sure you're driving up with your heel. So looks like this. Way to make it harder is adding a jump in between each one. Next station is gonna be, or next exercise, it's gonna be basic crunches. So a lot of times when people do crunches, they round their shoulders a ton. We wanna try to keep our shoulders down and back, and bringing our chest up toward the ceiling. So in this position, instead of doing kind of this motion, we wanna try and keep our shoulders down and back, bringing our chest up toward the ceiling. The more you keep those elbows back, it's just more gravity is pushing down on you, the more weight you're having to lift up. So I always suggest trying to keep your elbows back. And even if you come up off the ground just a centimeter, an inch, it's still really great for the abs. Next exercise is going to be knee to shoulder crunches. So on this one, you're just kind of going opposite knee to opposite elbow, keeping that belly button drawn in, abs flexed. Next exercise is going to be a plank. So forearms on the ground, and make sure I can fit in the screen here. So butt flexed, belly button drawn in, kind of in this position. Plank with a hip dip. You're just dropping side to side. It's really good for the obliques. Next exercise is going to be a side plank. So you're going to be in this position. Feet are stacked on top of one another. Hips up. Really good for the obliques. It will work the shoulder as well. So you want to make sure that that shoulder is at a 90-degree angle. So you don't want your elbow to be out too far on that one. A way to modify that exercise, if it is too much pressure on the shoulder, is bend the knees. And then you do your hip raise there. Or you can also angle your body in a little bit more. So it's going to kind of get more of the front of your abs. And then the next exercise is going to be calf raises, which is very basic movement. I don't really do this a ton in sessions with clients because their calves get worked often, but it's good to never neglect the muscle. So standing against the wall, raising your heels up as high as you can on each movement. Highly suggest doing a higher rep count on that one. It actually does get the glutes firing as well, so just flex the butt when you're doing those heel raises. Next exercise is going to be, now we're getting into the heart rate exercises. So the last 2 are going to be the hardest. tuck jump. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your knees up in front of you. When you land, you don't wanna be slamming down on the ground. You wanna try and soften your land as much as you can. So it looks just like this, bringing your knees back down, nice and slow. And then the last exercise is gonna be burpees. And on a burpee, your chest is either touching the ground all the way, so it looks like this. And then you're springing back up and then jumping up at the top. On that one, you wanna make sure that your knees, when you're in this position and you're springing up, you don't want to be out here, because no one's gonna do a squat in this position. We don't want our knees to pass our toes. So you wanna make sure that when you're here, you are getting your feet as close to your hands as you can as you spring up, all right? Modification for a burpee, it looks like this. Put your hand on the ground, kick your feet out, kick your feet in, jump up. Or there's also a box burpee modification. So pretend there's a box right here, holding onto the box. You're kicking your feet out, kicking your feet in, and jumping up at the top. All right.